Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Fantasy Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Ninian Infantry. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And, you know, basic, nice, collector-friendly blister card. It says up here on the top, mythiclegions.com, sourcehorseman.com, storehorseman.com. And again, nice big blister showcasing the majority of the figure and accessories. Mythic Legions, and it's got that nice chromy finish to it. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn. Maybe. No. Just some credits and stuff right there. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. There's a barcode on this side. You can see the faction symbol, which is the Order of Basilia. It's something Basilia. I can't ever remember the actual names of the factions other than which beast they belong to. The Ninian Infantry, and then there is a nice text blurb that, if you want to read it, you can pause it right here and just read the heck out of that thing. Then on the back, Four Horsemen and the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions. You know, the Four Horsemen logo they use on Mythic Legions. And it's in a nice chrome finish along with the Four Horsemen here. Nice mountainous, deserty kind of background going on there. Here's another text blurb that if you want to read it, you certainly can. Pause it right here and knock yourself out. And then moving right along, here's like some credits and small fine legalese stuff and some more credits. Well, see the entire collection, visit mythiclegions.com. And what a nice looking collection it is. That, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. We'll start with his accessories, and here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at the smaller ones, and we'll start with the extra sets of hands. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra sets of hands. So a hand pack comes with this figure, excuse me. So let's start things off with the trigger finger hands. And there's 2 sets of trigger finger hands. Why this guy's trigger finger hands, I don't know, unless he's shooting a magical bow or something. I don't know. So nice molded details, nice paint. So very scaly snake looking. And you'll notice this is on an in and out hinge. And pretty much the same thing can be said about this set of hand, or this hand, except it's the opposite side. So there's that. Now let's take a look at the other trigger finger hands, which I thought were exactly the same until I noticed, hey, this set's on up and down hinges instead of in and out hinges. So pretty much the same as the last set of hands, only up and down hinges instead of in and out hinges. And again, why this guy has trigger finger hands, I don't know. He just does. And then next up we have the grasping or grappling hands. And again, nice molded details and nice paint. And I want to say it's probably molded in this color. And then the outside is the paint. And regardless of whichever way it goes, they look nice. And those are the same, except for I'm coming to get you, Barbara. One's left, one's right. So then we have another set of grip hands, and we'll have to see what those are, because I'm not sure what the difference in the grip hands are, unless of course it is the hinge again. The one on the figure may be up and down, but these are in and out. Nice paint out, nice molded details. Even on the palm of the hand, look at all those scales in there. And again, this hand is the same, only the opposite side. And then lastly, we have a set of fists. Left one right. In and out hinges, nice molded details. And nice paint. And here's the other one. Now, let's take a look at his, I guess, war club. I have to say, I kind of like the colors on this. It's black and... is it purple? I don't know. I'm colorblind, so don't make fun of handicapped people. But regardless of whatever color it is, it looks cool. Then it's got this light gold or bronze down here with... it might have a slight wash or dry brush on it as well. And it does come off. So if you need to do that for whatever reason, this is probably molded. The handle part is molded in brown plastic. For the wood, it does have some nice molded wood-like grain details in there, and then it's got this nice gold or bronze paint app with a little bit of a wash, it looks like, for the end of it, or the pommel, I guess. If it was a sword, it'd be a pommel. So here we have some Mardi Gras beads, because you know he's walking around bare-chested, and nice molded details, and it does seem to have a bit of a wash on it as well to get in there in between those beads and just, you know, give it a nice overall look. And even, you know, on the back side they did that as well. Next up, we have his shield, and I don't believe I've seen this shield before. I could be wrong, but it looks new. It's got these glyphs around the edge. It has this nice design in the middle, and this gold or bronze on the outside with a wash in it to help all those little details stand out. And it's got, you know, these ridge type deal on the outside. On the inside, it's pretty plain, just has a post. We have a standard Mythic Legions shield handle with the port in it, and of course we know how that works, or most of us do, at least if we've messed with a Mythic Legions shield before. If you haven't, then that's how it works. The post, the port, and you put them together, and there you have it. And it's rotatable, so you know you can adjust it so that he's holding where the design is however you would like it. So next up, we have his tail, and I have to say I do like the color for the scales on here and how it changes. So, and then we've got the nice paint app here on the underside, and a little bit of fade or an overspray, maybe a wash there. And of course you can see how it's got these holes in it because there's bendy wire in there, and it does bend, and there's a bit of flexibility to this, a little more than some of the other bendy wire stuff I've looked at recently. Not a big fan of it because usually this material does degrade over time, and it splits and all that good stuff. So here we have his spear. Nothing we haven't seen before in the line for sure. Get out of the way, you. And it does have this nice paint app from the spear, the business end of the spear, and then the shaft is, you know, I'm assuming it's all molded in this color. So cool. I like spears. Next up is his alternate angry battle head. And nice molded details throughout. Nice paint apps. Look at that lifeless black eye. And then some paint for the fangs. And nice coloration and wash on the inside of the mouth. I don't know how well that wash is showing up on camera, but there is a wash in there. And it looks like pictures I've seen of snakes doing that number. The last two accessories we're going to talk about are his shoulder armors. And, you know, post. And right here is like a snake eye symbol, or the symbol is a snake eye. And then it's molded, I think, in this gold. And then it has various levels of wash on it. Now this, in the center here where this design is, that might be a paint app instead of a, you know, heavier wash. I'm not 100% sure. But I do like the overall design of this. I don't believe that I've seen this before. I could be wrong. I don't remember having seen it before. And of course, this one is the same, only for the opposite shoulder. And very nice. I like the look of that. It's really cool. Now, let's take a look at the figure itself. Let's raise the camera up just a little bit. So, throughout this figure, let's just go ahead and say it's nice molded details. And I want to say, like, the arms and the torso and the upper legs here and maybe the feet, they probably came from Cosmic Legions. I don't know that because I don't really follow that line. I'll pick one up here and there, but I don't really like just follow it. So the heads, I'm not sure if they have snake dudes in Cosmic Legions. I don't remember seeing any pictures of snake dudes, but I noticed that they did sell a head pack, snake dude head pack for Cosmic Legions when they did those head packs, 2-packs a while back. So, you know, just nice molded details throughout. This piece, it looks like it's a separate piece that's glued in there. And it could be, it might not be, I don't know. But that's what it looks like. But nice molded details. I don't know which one is the paint app. I'm assuming this is the paint app. That color stripe is the paint app. On the arms, who knows? I don't know. This could be the color that it's molded in. I don't know. But you notice it's, you know, lighter here, and then it fades darker as it approaches the colored portions of the scales. And as far as the head goes, there's dead black eyes. Looks like a snake. So, all these nice molded details in there on the torso. We may have seen this waist overlay before. I don't remember. So many of them have this piece or a piece right here that's very similar looking. And sometimes they just all run together. But you can see there's a belt in there. There's some fur in there to add to a little bit of comfort in there. Nice design right here. This is a separate piece that plugs in, I think. That's usually how they do it. And then this is a soft goods piece. It's wired, so it's posable. You know, they really didn't have to do that for a small piece like this, but they do it anyway for this line, and I'm so glad for that. That's just little details like that, to me, make a lot of difference. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He only kicks forward that far, so he kicks back about the same, I guess. Let's see, is there any twist in there? Yes, there is a little bit of a twist. at the upper thigh. So you get some twist in there. Single hinge and swivel at the knee. Swivels around 360 degrees and gives you that much bend. I feel like I didn't go over the arms. We'll go over in a minute. So at the feet, it will spin around. Mine doesn't want this being difficult. So there it goes. Spins around 360 degrees. It does have forward facing pin for rocker. Tilts down that far and tilts up that far. Now, in case I didn't do the arms before, I'll do them now. 360 degrees worth of rotation. I feel like I didn't do any of this right. So he raises his arm up approximately 90 degrees. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. I'm just doing it in reverse, I guess. Elbow gives you that much bend, not quite 90 degrees. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist. 360 degrees of rotation at the bracer as well. But it didn't like that. And then let's see. Yes, these grip hands are up and down hinges. And that's on this side as well. Torso spins around 360 degrees. Leans back that far. Leans forward that far. It's on a half dumbbell or ball joint. He gets all kinds of twist. He leans left and right a little bit. Not a whole lot. Then at the head, he looks up so high that the head comes off. So anyway, so he can look up that high, which is not bad. That's a lot. He can look down that far, but yeah. So no chicken neck because it's just a ball. He does have waggle, 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 and he can do the full exorcist. So I don't know why I'm so jumbled up with this one. It's probably because it's a snake. I don't like snakes. So let's talk about his armor and stuff. So the shoulder pieces, of course, they just plug into those ports on his back if I can get it to do it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. This one is almost acting like it wants to be heated up to plug in. So I think I got it in there. Let's try this side. Again, very tough. Alright, so there we got it in. I didn't have to heat it up, but it did take a minute to get it in there. The tail, there's his butthole. So the tail just plugs into that port right there, and it's on a ball joint. And there we have that. That doesn't like to stay in. I don't know if maybe I need to heat it up to get it to go in there better, or what, because it didn't snap or anything, but it's not acting like it wants to stay in there. Not the first time I've had that issue with a Mythic Legion's tail. So we'll take the head off. We'll give him his Mardi Gras beads because, you know, he been partying down in New Mythos. There's that. Pop the head back on. And there's that tail popping out again. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to heat that up and see if I can get it to stay in there well. And as far as the other stuff, you know, you can put the shield in his hand, you can put the spear in his hand, or you can give him the war club, or you can swap his hands out and find him some kind of projectile weapon. So there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Ninian Infantry with the Four Horsemen Studios 2025 convention exclusive Mythic Legions Legendary Barbarian and the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Necronominous Waves Sir Gideon Heavensbrand 2. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Ninian Infantry with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7/8 scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Ninian Infantry, if I'm saying that correctly, I don't know. I have to say, you know, I don't like snakes. I'm fascinated by them. I like to look at a picture of them maybe. I like to watch it on TV and learn about them so I can stay the hell away from them. But I do not like snakes. So the fact that this is not a bad guy just blows my mind. And maybe that's the idea behind it, or maybe whoever designed this at Four Horsemen is a snake lover. I am not a snake lover. So it really blows my mind that this is not a bad guy. As far as that goes, that's all I can say. Now, what I can say about it is, for the most part, this is an incredible looking figure. If I had to nitpick a design element that wasn't good, it would have to be the shape of the head, because as we can see, as this guy rotates around, he has fangs, so he's venomous, so his head should be more arrowhead shaped than flat. So, you know, his head is shaped like a non-venomous snake, yet he has fangs like a venomous snake. So, you know, that's a nitpick. Now, something that kind of bothers me is the ball joint for, you know, at the top of the neck. It's not hidden very well. It's a little better with the head that's on it now. It's a little better, but with like the just plain regular head, it stands out like a sore thumb. It's not great. And if they had put a hinging ball in the neck for this figure, it would have completely fixed. You would have been able to hide that much better, I think, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but that's my opinion on it, and that's how I feel. As far as the accessories and stuff that comes with this guy, I think they're fantastic. He comes with an entire hand pack for the price of a regular figure, along with, you know, just the normal stuff that you would expect from Mythic Legions, deco wise and design wise, sculpt wise. And then he comes with a whole hand pack, and, you know, then, you know, couple of different weapons and a shield. So, you know, I think there's a lot of value in this pack. Not to mention, you know, he's got the tail as well. So I think there's a lot of value in this pack. And I think this was their first snake dude. in the Mythic Legions line. Like I stated before, I think parts of this body come from Cosmic Legions. I could be mistaken, but because I don't really follow Cosmic Legions that much, but I do believe they have a guy who's kind of scaled. The body is scaled like this. He's a lizard man. So it only makes sense that, you know, they use that cross lines. Only if, you know, if only companies like Hasbro did that cross line as well, because Marvel Legends could really use some of the same articulation points and stuff that they're using over in G.I. Joe Classified series. So, you know, I don't know what all the ins and outs of that business are, but it just seems like, you know, for a company that likes to reuse stuff like Hasbro, they do it within a line but not cross line. So I don't know if maybe they have a rule against that, or licensing issues, or what have you, but that's beside the point. Has nothing to do with this figure. This figure is a very nice looking figure. Now I will say one of his ankles is kind of weak, so I don't know if I can use a syringe and the wax trick on it to stiffen it up a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. And then, you know, of course, the bendy tail, it looks okay. This one actually has a nice range of movement to it, which sometimes they don't. I want to say, I looked at Dragon Man from Marvel Legends recently, and it's just, he had a bendy wire tail, but the tail was so thick that it pretty much negated most of the range of motion for the thing. And, you know, that's something you run into. And then, I'm not a big fan of bendy wire stuff like that anyway. The materials just degrade over time. If you leave it in, you know, position like I have it right now, you know, it might get breaks in it. So, I mean, it is what it is, and it's a way to get articulation into something like that, rather than like, let's say a Rakagor, who, you know, he has one swivel, might be two swivels in that tail. Whereas, you know, they could put some joints in it, some hinged joints. That would suit me better, but again, that's just me. Your mileage, of course, may vary. So, I have to say, overall, I don't like snakes, but I do like this figure. I think it makes, you know, snakes make cool figures. Especially when they're snake men and not like rubber snakes that you might scare somebody with. I don't like that crap. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. Well, that's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.